Hello everyone. So what I had heavy on my mind today that I wanted to talk about was waiting on manifestations, right? So I watched several different videos on YouTube and they talk a lot about how to manifest and what you should do, what are the steps, blah 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 blah. And I think those are all good. I mean, I think they do serve a purpose, but I do think at the end of the day that you can't really just manifest through the steps as most of the videos are telling you how it works. What truly works when it comes to manifestation is setting the intention of whatever your desire is and sitting back and waiting until you relax on the idea of it happening or not. Very interesting. It's like you gotta set it and forget it. You remember that little saying? I think it was related to like some type of food you can make in the kitchen and like the oven. Set it and forget it. I don't know, maybe it's something else. But nonetheless, that's how most manifestation work. The minute you take your mind off of it, that's when it'll show up in your space. But you set the intention and a desire up front, and that's how it starts to unfold. Something to always remember too when you're working on manifesting something is that it's always happening, right? Right now, I'm working through something pretty big, right? Something pretty big that I've been working on that I want to see happen. And I really had to relax on it because I was like, well, getting all bent out of shape about it is not going to make it happen any sooner. And that's just the bottom line. It does not work like that. And actually, it creates a lot of resistance towards it, right? And so what I had to tell myself was to relax. You've already put it out there. Go find something else to do. And pretty much that's how I see it work out all the time for other things I've manifested in my life, whether it was a vehicle that I wanted, whether it was a position that I wanted, or some type of project that I wanted to work on, or some people I wanted to work with. It's always been a thing of I put my intentions out there, money too, and then I forget about it. Parking spots, I know people talk about manifesting parking spots a lot and all that kind of stuff too. So I kind of thought about what are 3 important things to remember to do in the meanwhile. And it's so easy to forget because I forget. And sometimes I'm just like, why am I frustrated feeling today? Oh yeah, because I want this thing to happen and it's not happening on my time schedule, right? Which is perfectly okay. But you have to remember that's how you push it further away. So one of the things that I do while I'm waiting in the meantime, I go get myself involved in other things, right? So a couple of years ago, I went and took swimming lessons because I really just wanted to learn. And I was like, I'm too old not to know how to swim, doing bunny hops in the pool and stuff. And my daughters are really good at swimming. And I was like, I just want to swim, right? So I learned, you know, basic stroke, basic save myself if I need to get out of water, get across the pool, right? That's all I learned. And then I stopped going because life got in the way and I allowed it to take the back burner again. So this year I decided again, while I'm waiting on these other things to happen, I had this free space and time. So I went back to the swimming lessons. So I'm learning all kinds of things like doing backstrokes, swimming with flippers and all that. And it's very intimidating. But what it does is it gets me wrapped up in something else while I'm waiting for the other thing that I've already set my intention and desire towards. I don't have to revisit it because I've already put it out there. The only time I think you revisit it when you've already put it out there is when you get inspired action and you start taking a specific action that just pops in your head one day and then you're like, oh, that makes sense, I should do that, right? It's not through grunting and griping and pushing. Another thing that I do when I'm waiting on manifestation is I do a lot of introspection. I do a lot of looking within to see different areas or different parts of myself that I can clean out, parts of me that I'm proud of, parts of me that I want to see more of, all those little things that are related to who we are and why we tick and what our purpose is and what's important to us. A lot of times we don't even get to because we're so busy forcing our manifestations in a sense, and we're so busy trying to make things happen happen that we get caught up and we don't always get time to reflect and think about who we are. Why am I doing this again? Why is it so important to me? What are some of the things about me that I want to begin to eliminate or use less of, or put, you know, on the back burner because it's not a positive quality or something? What are some of the things I want to see more of? What are some of the things I have yet to explore about me that I know are beautiful and interesting? Let's not forget all of the accomplishments that have already happened, all of the things that I deemed as failures that were really just the, you know, the pavement on the road to success in a particular area. So I start thinking about all this stuff. I write a lot. I use a journal. I journal a lot. So in this downtime that I'm having, which I consider it to be like your in-between time, your downtime, it's kind of like a time for you to really, really get in touch with why you're doing it. Get grounded again, right? So I use a gratitude journal, and I might have mentioned that before. I write every day. I am thankful for blah, blah, blah. I loved it so much, actually, and this is not a product plug, but it kind of is, but it isn't. I created one and I put it on my website, and it's a daily gratitude journal, and at the end of the week it has a little reflection part about it, and I thought that other people could use the same thing too. And the third thing to remember, what you can do while you're waiting for your manifestation to happen, is to start getting mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared for the arrival of it. Big deal. And the reason why it's such a big deal is because if you have in your head, well, I put this out there where it's like, blunt, that's not happening today, so blah, 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 and you get this little humdrum attitude about it. If I were your manifestation, I wouldn't want to come either. Then you start getting to a place where you start expecting it and you start preparing for it. So if it's something like you want to manifest a new bed, the one you're sleeping on hurts your back awfully. It's awful. I've done this before. I got rid of the bed. That's just me. That's not everybody, but that's just me. And this was a time a couple of years ago. I got rid of the bed, put it on the curb and everything. I said, this thing squeaks, it's lumpy, it hurts, whatever. I'm just gonna sleep on a sofa because it's more comfortable until I get a new bed. What's so crazy is that out of the blue, I was like, let me just send a message around. I got a bunch of siblings and stuff. I was like, anybody have a bed in their house that they want to get rid of that's comfortable? You know, I don't mind what size it is. And immediately, one of my older sisters got back to me and was just like, hey, one of my friends, they're just getting one of those, you know, Tempur-Pedic beds. I think that's what it's called, the adjustables or whatever. And they have a queen size. Do you want that? This was in a matter of like 30 minutes. So I'd thrown it out the day before. I sent out the message the very next day, just on a fluke, because I'd been to everybody's houses. I didn't see anything extra. So I was just sending a message just to put it out there in the universe, right? And so I started preparing my space for it in my mindset too. I was just like, if it's a queen size, I'm going to use this sheet set I have stored away. If I get a king size, I'm going to use this sheet set. I mean, I had it all together. I swept underneath the bed, mopped the floor, all that good stuff. And then the very next day, a bed manifested. So that's how that happens sometimes. So this works. You're trying to manifest a relationship or something like that, then you know you might want to clear out something that's raggedy that you still got going on that you wanted to let go a long time ago. If you're trying to manifest something like maybe new clothing or something, or new wardrobe, maybe you need to go through the old wardrobe and pull out everything that you're never going to wear again, and you know you're not going to wear it. Like me and my size 2 clothing. It's like, dude, do you even want to be a size 2 again? Probably not. It was a very unhealthy time when I was wearing those sizes and had to go through and pull them out. And my thing was, I'm giving them to my nieces. My nieces are healthy. None of them wear 2s. So I'm gonna have to drop it off at the Goodwill or something, right? And so I got rid of a lot of stuff when I wanted new wardrobes, and that's how that pretty much goes. And so one of the biggest things that I'm working on, I probably mentioned this before, is cultivating a new home. And so I sold the old one I was in. That was a big risk for me. That was a very big leap. That's not like something that, you know, the average person, I guess, would consider a way of clearing the space. But I knew that it was hanging heavy on me. It had been with me through too many relationships, through even a failed marriage, through a very dark time in my past, and I lived there like a decade, and I was just really ready to move on, and I got a good selling price for it. I was just like, I'm ready to move on. I don't know what's next. I don't know what kind of house I'll be in next, but I'm truly open to any and every avenue of abundance that the infinite intelligence can provide. I mean, I'm not prohibited anywhere in that area. I don't have a specific way that it needs to be done. And right now I'm just kind of like in the waiting period. And so I can see how easily it is to get lost when you're waiting on manifestations, because you may start to do things like make bad decisions, or just do action for the sake of doing action, or getting in contact with the wrong people just because you don't have anything else going on, right? So those are my 3 main things. What you do in the meantime, it's like, what do I do in the meantime? Take your mind off of it, go get involved in something else, right? The second one is get some introspection, start doing some self-reflection, kind of figuring out who you are, make some gratitude lists. What are you proud of? What are you not proud of? You know, that kind of thing. And then the third one is start to make room for that thing and start expecting it to come your way, and start being excited about the arrival of that manifestation in your life. So I hope you all got something out of this video today. I know I did, because when I sit here and do these videos, you'd be surprised. I get excited when I'm going over the same things that I already know, but it's like when I'm teaching it and telling it to someone else, it gets way more interesting, right? So what to do in the meantime while you're waiting on that manifestation? Of course, you got to believe in it to put it out there in the first place. Get involved in something else to take your mind off of it. Do some internal work while you're waiting. And then the last thing is to make some room for it. And so I hope you all enjoyed my video, what to do during your manifestation time. Have a good day.